Okay, so today I'll be teaching you guys how to actually animate items in Jump Showdown by importing already made animations and making the item actually move inside of your character. So for this, I'm gonna be using a little rig that I've already made, though I will be going through how to set it all up. You're gonna be needing, of course, Roblox Studio, a rig, a mesh of choice. As long as it's like this and it doesn't have any other parts, I think it should be fine for this tutorial. So first, you gotta get a rig, right? You can do that using this button right here if you have Moon Animator. If you don't, get a job and buy it. I don't know. You click insert and then get the R6 rig and you make a little animation, right? Before we get to animating, if you don't know how to set things up, I will teach you through as well. So first of all, get the mesh and put it under your rig. Actually, you can do this later after you do this other part. Move it around and position it right where you want it to be in your rig. And then once you do that, you can go ahead and drag it inside of your rig like this. If it's outside, it's just gonna work. And once you do that, you're gonna be using this thing called Easy Weld. I've already done this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and delete this Motor 60 connection. You're gonna click on whatever limb you want the item to be connected to, and then you're gonna hold Ctrl on your keyboard and press on the mesh. Now that we've done that, you can see that they both show right here. Base part is left arm, and target part is the slab revolver. Once you do that, you click join in place and make sure to toggle on animatable right here if it's not on yet. You click join in place and it should work. If you press join by accident, don't worry. The only thing it's going to do is reset the mesh's position to be the exact position of the limb it's connected to. Once you do that, you can go over here and select the rig, and if you press new rig animation, you're going to see that the slab revolver or whatever item you have chosen to make part of your rig is going to show up right here as a limb. So now that we've done that, we can go ahead and make a little animation. In this case, I already made one, which is this one. Once you make the animation, you go ahead, press save as, give your animation a name, and then just close. It's going to be saved. It's going to be right here as one of these blue things. So now we can go over here to file and export files. Then you press OK. And once it does that, if you go under your rig, the rig you just exported the animations from, you'll see that there's a little thing over here called animation saves or anim saves. Here you'll see that there are a bunch of keyframe sequences. These are your animations. You're going to go over here and click on the animation you want to export. Now you're going to be needing a plugin that I'll be leaving the link to in the description. So in this case, I already have it installed. If you don't, you gotta install it, restart Roblox Studio, and then do this. You click on the animation you want to export, and then you click to JSON. This is going to create a little file named converted keyframe data. Now that this is created, you can go over here to value and properties and just copy this code. Then you go inside the game and you go over here. I already have the rig all set up, but just so you guys know how to do it, we go over here into rig insert under wizards. You click insert yourself, then you line it up. There we go. Now you have to go over here. Since we already have the mesh inside of Roblox Studio, you can just go over here under its properties and copy its mesh ID and texture ID and use them to import the mesh into Jump Showdown using the mesh maker. You copy and paste the mesh ID over here, and then you copy and paste the texture ID under there as well. And it should be good to go. Just like that, we got the rig, the exact same rig inside the game. Now, once you import it, it's going to be named mesh part. We don't want that to happen. We want it to be the exact same name as the mesh we have inside of Roblox Studio, which in this case is slab revolver. We align it to the rig and we position it just so it's in the exact same position or similar to the one inside of Roblox Studio. Now that we got that right there, we're gonna need to weld them together the exact same way we did inside of Roblox Studio. But since Jump Showdown doesn't have any Motor 60 welds, we need a different rig that already has those. You grab the Motor 60 connection from this rig that I provided to you, do a little Ctrl C and do Ctrl V. It's not going to go inside of the rig. But now that we have this copy, we can go over here, collapse this, go over here to parent, and set it to the same limb we connected the gun to, or that we wish to connect the gun to. So in this case, it's going to be the left arm. Yeah, and now it's right under the left arm, as you can see. However, it's not over yet. You still need to set the part 0 and part 1 of this Motor 60 connection. So in this case, the part 0 is going to be your left arm, or the limb, and part 1 is going to be the mesh. Before we continue, we also have to go over here into Roblox Studio, copy, wait, actually, never mind. Now that we've set this up, we can go and finally mess around with the skill builder stuff. So in this case, I'm going to be making a new animate, a new skill. Gonna name it gun, and we're gonna go ahead and add a custom animation block. Instead of just clicking the add animation, we're gonna instead click on the rig we just set up and then click on edit animation. In this, we're actually gonna be animating the whole thing through the rig we just selected. So we go over here, we copy the code, we paste it here, and it should show up. If you press play, you'll notice that the gun isn't actually animating. That's normal. I don't know why that happens, but as long as there is a slab revolver or your item right under the left arm, and you can see that there are keyframes in that timeline, it's fine. So we go over here, press save, and then press close, and it should be right here. However, we're not really done here yet. So now that we've already set up the whole animation, we still need the item. And to do this, we're going to be doing something similar to what we do when setting up normal items. If you don't know how to do that, then it's pretty simple. You make 2 blocks, you press C, and just put down 2 blocks right here. This guy's going to be the main thing. It's going to be where all the logic is stored, the main logic. This one is for toggling the mesh off of your character. So I'm going to be going through that too. Basically, you make a block and then you make a copy of the same mesh you were setting up. And we go ahead and make the block and add a rig item thingy right here. Just click this plus and then search up rig item, you click that, and it should be going right here. Then you set the handle to the model that you just copied, and the position and orientation are going to be the exact same as the position and orientation that are in your Mortar G6 connection. So you can just go ahead, copy and paste those into here, and it should work. Now that we've done that, we can set up this block. This block is going to be the one responsible for removing the mesh from your character if you want to do something like an item that you only get when you use an item, and once the attack is done, it disappears. You go over here, like you insert the erase block, just like that. It's going to show up right here. Then you go over here and select rig item. You got to make sure it's set to rig item or else it's not going to work. And then you put the name of the mesh, which is slab revolver. So once you done with that, we can now get to the skill builder stuff. We already have the animation set up, but we don't have a modifier set up, so it actually makes the mesh show up in your hand. To do that, we just put a modifier block, then click right here on save part and select the block that's responsible for making the mesh show up in your hand, which is the green one. Add a little timer right here so the animation actually plays. And after that wait block, we put a little variant block. We set the duration to a really high number, turn these 2 things on, and make a different branch. We select it right here, and what this is going to do is whenever we press the button the skill is set to again, it's going to trigger this erase block, which is basically just going to remove the item from your hand. Now that we got that set up, it should work. And just like that, you got yourself a little... Yeah, I don't think their branch is working. You need a wait block after this block so it doesn't... I mean, you don't really need it if you got cooldowns on, but just in case. And now it works.
So I'm sitting there.
1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36.